It made a gulping sound. I pulled my hands from the locker door and glanced at the number near the top. Oops, wrong locker. My bad, I said. I backed away. My locker's over there. Sorry, first day of school. I could tell from the deep scowl on Darnell's face he didn't accept my apology. He began to breathe harder, his big chest heaving up and down beneath his t-shirt. He was about to pounce. Down the hall, I saw a bunch of other boys with hard expressions on their faces. They were moving toward me with their hands clenched into fists. Somehow I could tell they weren't coming to welcome me to my new school. Time to run away. I didn't wait. I moved like a running back. I took a few running steps right at them, just to fake them out. Then I made a sharp swerve, spun around, and took off down the hall in the other direction. My move didn't fool them at all. Darnell led the way as they came thundering after me. It sounded like a cattle stampede in one of those old West movies. Kids leaped out of the way. The football players lowered their heads and ran like football players. I whipped around the corner. I was looking for a door, a way out. Maybe if I made it outside, I could hide behind some parents who come to pick up their kids. But this hallway just led to another hallway. Gasping for breath, I tried to run harder, but my sides started to ache. My leg muscles began to throb. The team members were close behind, shouting as they ran. Hey, dead meat! Don't run away! Be a man! We won't hurt you too much. Dead meat, you know your name? It's dead meat. Very clever. I knew I couldn't run much further. I spun around another corner and spotted an open locker. I didn't have time to think about it. I dove into the locker and pulled the door shut. Did they see me? Had I put myself in a trap? My heart pounded so hard my chest ached. I held my breath and I listened. They thundered right past the locker and kept going. I could hear them roaring down the hall. I waited a few seconds. Then I popped open the locker door and jumped out. I darted in the other direction, searching for a way out. I knew in a few seconds they'd turn around and come back after me. When I saw the stairs leading down to the basement, I screeched to a stop. Could I lose them down there? There were definitely more places to hide in that dark, creepy basement, I decided. I grabbed the railing and dove down the stairs 2 at a time. I found myself back in the dusty, dimly lit, cobwebbed hall. Ducking under fat pipes overhead, I made my way past closed doors. My shoes kicked up the thick layer of dust on the concrete floor. I heard machinery humming, water flowing through pipes, strange squeaks and squeals. I listened for the shouts and heavy, galloping footsteps of the football team. Had they figured out that I was down there? Yes, I heard shouts far behind me, getting louder. Where should I hide? Shadows reached out as if to grab me. A fat spider dangled in front of my face. I brushed it away as I studied the long hall. Most of the doors were closed. I passed a small supply closet filled with buckets and dried-up mops. No room for me in there. I peered into the next room. Too dark to see anything. Ooh! Was that a low groan from the back of the room? Was someone in there? I fought back my fear. Tried to slow my thundering heartbeats. I had to keep moving. I started to jog, brushing away cobwebs as I ran. I didn't stop till I reached the book room. I stepped inside, breathing hard. I glanced at the stack of monitors against the wall. They all showed empty classrooms. No sign of Mr. Blister. I gazed around the room. Books were stacked from the floor to the ceiling. I decided I could hide back in the bookshelves. The tall shelves rose up like dark walls, a perfect place to lose my pursuers. I slipped between 2 rows of shelves and made my way back to the back wall. The shelves blocked out all light. It was hot back here. It smelled of old dust and decay. I heard shouts out in the hall. The football players were coming close to the book room. I started to hunch down against one of the shelves, but then I glimpsed an open doorway in the back wall. What was back there? My heart pounding, I crept along the shelf, then darted into the room. I pulled the door shut behind me. Total blackness. My hand fumbled against the wall till I found a light switch. I clicked it, and a ceiling light flashed on, blinking. I waited for my eyes to adjust. I was in a long, narrow room. The floor was black, so were the walls. "Hey!" I cried out. I wasn't alone. I saw dozens of people jammed into the room. People standing together, side by side, in rows of 4. Some standing on low metal tables. It only took a few seconds to realize they weren't moving. They weren't alive. Were they mannequins? They were wrapped in some kind of gauze, like mummies. 4 long rows of human-sized mannequins. Their heads and bodies were hidden under thick layers of gauze. I swallowed hard. My throat suddenly felt dry. I felt a stab of fear in my chest. What were they? Why were they hidden down here in the basement of the school? I took a step closer. I reached out a hand. I touched the head of the nearest figure, and it spoke. "I'm Artie," it said in a tiny voice. My voice. "I'm Artie. I'm Artie. I'm Artie." "No!" I opened my mouth in a scream of horror. I fell back, and woke up in my bed. Still screaming. Woke up in my bed, shrieking my lungs out. Back in my room, under the covers, in my own bed. Was the whole school day a dream? Was it?